Hello, folks. It's Frank with Sage Creek Prepper back for another week. As promised, this is week number 2. And as I told you last week, today we're going to start getting information together to build our emergency plans in case something bad goes wrong. That's the first step in prepping. We got to have a plan, and it's got to be one that works. But before we can do all that, we got to have all the information we're going to need, all right? So the first thing we need to do is somewhere in your house, what I would suggest is you get a binder, okay? Because we're going to be putting a lot of information in this little binder, and this little binder will be your safety book. It will be your emergency book. You know, have your hospital information and phone numbers in this book. Have poison control numbers in this book. Have the police and fire department numbers in this book. Also, okay, your personal emergency contact numbers. That's a friend or family member in case something happens to you. Somebody can get a hold of somebody that has some information on you, okay? It can be a spouse, it can be a friend, it can be a parent, whoever, but they need to have a good handle on who you are. And then we need to keep stuff together in case it's, say we have a tornado, but we've got our little book with us, okay? Or there's a flood, but we have our little book with us. In that book also, besides the hospital and poison control, fire and emergency numbers, and your emergency contacts, we need to have our house address written down, okay? Maybe a parent or brother or sister-in-law's phone numbers, okay? Those are good contact persons in case you're out of it. Your home number, if not many people have home phones anymore, but if you was to have one, that would be a good one. You need to have a first aid kit located somewhere in your house, and you need to have that location written down in case you're out of it, but somebody needs to find it. Okay? You need to know where the breaker panel is to your house. If you do not know, you need to look it up. Same way with your water control valves coming into your house, okay? It'll also help if you can have your Wi-Fi password. You need to make sure, and I hope everyone has this, some fire extinguishers around. You need to lay back some emergency cash in case everything goes down, or everything floods, or tornadoes rip the center out of your town, and there's no ATMs, you've got some cash on hand, all right? And last but not least, you need to figure out if you have natural gas or propane gas, where your master cutoff for that valve is going into your house. You also need to have medical insurance information, okay? You need to have your family doctor, who they are and their phone number. Your pediatricians, your dentist. What medications are you on, if any? Okay? You need to have your policy number for your health insurance. You need to have the information on your pharmacy. And of course, let's not forget our pets, so we probably need to have our veterinary stuff in there. And you need to run a list of everyone in the household if they have any allergies or any allergic reactions to drugs. That's step 1, okay? Step 2 is you need to make a list. You need to have an out-of-town contact person somewhere. Like, it can be a relative, it can be a friend, but they don't need to be in the same town you're in. So you've got a contact that is out of town in case all of whatever happens, if the disaster only hits your little town, there's someone on the outside has information on you, okay? Like I say, it can be a brother, a sister, aunt, uncle, a really close friend. It doesn't matter. But then you need to have information on everyone in your family, okay? Their name, their date of birth, social security number, and any important medical information, all right? And then you need to have a list of the places that you frequent. This is very important. in case something happens away from home and your spouse needs to figure out where you're at because you didn't tell her where you was at when you was leaving. If there's a list of places that you usually go, like me, I like Harbor Freight because I call it Harbor Franks. Okay? I go to Harbor Freight a lot. I think we all go to Walmart a lot. But is there any place that you go specifically a lot that maybe nobody knows a whole lot about? That needs to be written down so somebody can find you if there's a disaster in that area and you was away from home. These are all things to think about, and they're serious things. And next week we're going to get into these a little deeper. But due to time restraints, I'm trying to keep this as simple and concise as I possibly can. Next week, also, we're going to be going over scenarios about sheltering in place. And maybe the week after that about having to leave, or as I call it, bugging out. Or you hear people say, I've got to get my go bag and go. We're going to start talking about that in about 3 weeks or so. Next week, we're going to talk about sheltering at the house. And we're going to talk more on this family emergency plan. Until then, I hope you listen to the video. I hope you take it to heart. It is hopefully helpful information. If you have any feedback, feel free to email me at sagecreekprepper@gmail.com, sagecreekprepper@gmail.com, or you can leave me a comment on here on YouTube. And if you need me to contact you, I will. But remember also, this is about if you're in the Lexington, East Kentucky, or South Central Kentucky area, and you'd like to build a group of like-minded people like I want to, that want to be prepared for the worst in case it comes or in case it never comes, that we're ready for it, please feel free to contact me in the comment section of the YouTube or at this email, okay? sagecreekprepper@gmail.com. Thank you and God bless. We'll see you next week.